Right. Getting back to your old ways, back to your old shenanigans. Mm-hmm. Oh, I am so looking forward to getting back on my shenanigans.
Like the best.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm big into that. Big. If you're into the shenanigans, listen to this podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is the Echols Unlimited podcast. I'm your host, Terrence Echols, and today I have the privilege of talking to my good friend, Lizzie O'Brien from the Lafayette women's lacrosse team. She is a rising senior, and she's in attack.
Yes.
So just gonna ask her a few questions, talk about what's going on in the world, and Lizzie, glad to have you on.
I'm very glad to be here. So excited to talk to you guys about all this fun stuff.
Fun stuff. So, obviously that we're joking.
Yeah, no, not fun.
Right.
That was sarcasm. If you don't get that,
right.
My sense of humor.
Yeah, no, because first thing I'm going to ask you about is something that isn't really fun. So, I just want to ask about like what is currently going on in our country and some of the issues that have been arising, especially in the media about, racism and other problems with hate speech and things like that. So what are your thoughts on what's been going on?
So obviously all this stuff it's honestly disappointing to realize that this is still an issue since it's been going on since 1619. So you would think before that, I don't even know, but you would think it's 2020 that these racial injustices would be gone by now, but the sad truth is that it's not. So they do have to be addressed. And I think, obviously there's been plenty of instances before George Floyd and all the other cases, but I feel like since there's been a lot recently and the severity and how long the George Floyd 8 minutes and 46 seconds was, that people have finally opened their eyes and realized wow, this is a much bigger issue than maybe we thought or recognized. So obviously those are terrible, but it's nice to see the reaction that comes after that. So it is disappointing, but I think we're headed in a better direction now.
For sure.
After them. So
yeah, no, I definitely feel like everything has been. I feel more optimistic. I feel like more people who have had the privilege of being able to turn a blind eye in the past are now able to understand that they've had that privilege, and now they are, taking action and trying to eliminate the people who do speak out and people who do hate and people who do say negative things about people because of their race. And it's something that's, shouldn't really be an issue anymore at this point. So like
you said in your last podcast, it's not a political issue, it's a human rights issue.
Oh, Liz, I'm so glad you listened.
But that's exactly what it is too. And I think I've even been guilty of not turning a blind eye, but not being as aware of I should be. And I feel like it's important just to recognize these issues and learn about history and educate yourself too. As a team, we had to either listen to a podcast, read a book, or watch a movie on Netflix. There's recommendations we all put. Right. And then we split up into groups on Zoom and talked about it. And just I had a discussion with 7 of my teammates, and it was 45 minutes, and it was really good. And we kind of admitted to some of the mistakes we made in the past and how we're going to fix them. Right. And it was really open space, which is really good. And I think that's really important, just to have those uncomfortable conversations and educate yourself so you know what you're saying and you know what's going on.
No doubt. And I just wanted to, you've mentioned what you've gone through with your team and how you've taken the steps, but what are your experiences with race? Knowing that you come from a family who, I know you have some African American family members, most importantly your mom.
Yeah.
So talk to me about what's it like and, your experiences in race.
Yeah, so my mom is biracial. So her dad is African American and her mom is white, obviously. And then my dad is just 100% white. He's Irish. So that makes me 25%. But my skin color is obviously white, so I don't experience the everyday racism that a lot of people experience that have a darker skin color than I do. So I have never really experienced direct racial injustices, but My mom has, for sure, and so has my grandfather, obviously being an 85-year-old African-American man growing up during the Civil Rights Movement. But I remember when I was little, my school bus would drop me off at my grandparents' house. My parents both worked, and I didn't want to leave me at home alone. And my grandparents lived like 5 minutes from me. And I remember like the next day, I would always get comments like, "Who is that black man that's like waiting for you by the house? Like, who? Like, is that your babysitter?" Like, I didn't understand why people didn't get it, and I was like, "That's my grandfather. He's like." I didn't understand. I was so confused. I'm like, just because he's like, what? No one understood it. So that was definitely interesting. But I never like experienced depression or anything. But I think I'm more like, if people are saying like microaggressions, or I'm like hearing negative tones about like people of color, I think I jump on it more. Right. I need to work on it because I'm a little aggressive sometimes. I'm a little snippy. So if people are like ignorant, it does really bother me. Right. So, like knowing what my grandfather experienced and my mom. So I'm a little bit more like closer to home. So I'm like.
Right. Yeah. Speak your mind.
But I do need to work on my tone because I'm a little sassy sometimes. But as I should be, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's funny that you mentioned getting dropped off at your grandparents' house, because I had the exact opposite happen to me. When I was really young, I went to a school that was a majority black people, and I would get dropped off at my babysitter's house. She was an old white lady.
Something's not adding up.
Yeah, and kids they would just be like, "Who is this? Like, this is not your grandmother."
White woman, yeah. It really confuses people, for sure. Yeah. I think that's funny. But I think it's also cool to, like, listen to the older people's stories, too, because, like, understanding the history behind all of this is, like, understanding why they're protesting and why they're rioting is, like, a huge part of understanding all of this. So I started listening to what's that podcast called? 1619. I don't know if it's, like, a popular one on the podcast app. But it just talks a lot about people's experiences and history. So I thought it'd be a cool idea to... In a few days, I'm going to interview my grandfather, my African-American grandfather.
Oh, great.
And just, like, ask him some stories about what his experience were growing up, like, from elementary school to middle school to high school to college, because he actually went to Syracuse, and, like, dating a white woman back then, like, in the 1950s probably was...
Yeah, I can imagine.
Experienced some backlash, so... I was going to ask him some questions, and then I'm going to share it with my team. And I asked my coach, and it was kind of like a Zoom with them, and like read the answers that he said and like talk to them about it. So I feel like that'd be cool.
But, yeah, absolutely. And that's something I'd encourage you to do. And I'd encourage so many people, if you have people in your life and you've had people who have gone through some of the racial injustices that we've seen in our past, and, thank God, we grew up in an era where it's not as bad as it was, because Black people used to walk outside their house and get lynched in the South during in the mid 1900s, and I can't imagine fearing for my life just leaving constantly, the house. And I couldn't imagine going through that type of trauma. And it's great to talk to those people. If you still have those people in your life, please, I really, really recommend talking to those who have struggled.
It's a big eye opener for sure. I mean, I don't know all the stories, but I know some, and it's just like how I don't understand, like, how is this even like an issue? Like, it's so irritating to me. But
and then the people who make it political. That's my issue.
It's like it's a human rights issue. Why is this
exactly?
Oh, Terrence, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with people?
Hey, we're just gonna keep on educating these people, spreading love, and being a little snippy.
Kindness, yes. Kind snippiness.
Yes. Okay. Yes, exactly.
I'm not coming at you. I'm just coming at your opinions and beliefs.
Right. Smart. Very good job, Liz.
Thank you.
So switching the topics to something that's probably not much better than racism, but the coronavirus. And
lovely.
All
this fun stuff.
Yeah. And that has been something that has grabbed the world. And really, really had a negative effect on everyone. And unfortunately, it resulted in your junior season ending after how many games?
7.
7 games into the season. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit how the team was doing before in those 7 games before the season got ended, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this year was the best year yet. We had a whole staff change. Okay. We got 3 new coaches. Coach McConnell, she came from Manhattan, with Coach M, also from Manhattan, and then...
Shout out to the MAC conference.
Yeah, and Coach Nikki, was just graduated last year, so she's 22 from Manhattan as well. So they all came. And they're the best. They're so awesome. They're like the ideal coaches that anyone could ask for. We got so lucky because you have to be careful what you wish for after a coaching change. But she was awesome. So I think everyone was really excited to come to a new season with fresh coaches, and she really changed the culture, which was awesome. But I honestly don't even remember our record, and that's so bad. I'm thinking so hard. I can't remember if we were 3.
Hey, I can look it up right now.
I can't remember if we were 3-4 or 4-3.
Oh, looking it up.
Because, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. But it was really good and led to people, like, wanting to be there and, like, respecting the coaches. And it was a really good change. What were we? 4-3?
You guys were 4-3.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. You beasted Delaware State, Merrimack. Close one to Iona. Close one to Binghamton.
Yeah, we had a lot of close games. But,
double overtime against Manhattan.
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit about that.
That was sick because our coaches came from there. Right. So they had like a lot of connections there. And then Coach Nikki just graduated from there. So all of our best friends are seniors there. Right. So it was like really funny. We knew that. So we were acting like it was a Super Bowl. Like I remember in the locker room of the game, it was like Manhattan versus Lafayette. It's like we were literally like NCAA championship. We were so excited.
Oh, that's awesome.
We always talk about it to this day. And we were in the locker room like freaking out. And we got out there like I was so nervous. I felt like I stepped down the field. I'm like, oh my God, like this is all or none. I was so scared. But it was a really close game. I think it was like really emotional because the Manhattan girls probably obviously love those coaches too. So it was like seeing them for the first time. It's probably emotional. But it was really close. Double overtime. Anna Stein, shout out Anna Stein. She scored the game-winning goal. And it was awesome. That was a really fun game. Funnest game of the season. That was...
Really? Well, yeah.
Then it kind of went downhill. And then Rutgers was our last game. Not downhill like fun, but downhill because Corona.
Okay, yeah.
And then Rutgers... We were hearing that Corona was a problem, but when... I played that game. I didn't think that was going to be my last game of the season or anything.
Yeah.
But it was... I feel like a lot of people would have been really sad if that was their last... Like, if they knew that was the last game, but we didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then, knowing that was... In the aftermath of that last game, you obviously found out. So how did you find out, and how did the rest of the team find out? Yeah,
so... I'm trying to remember. There was rumors that... or the Ivy League was the first league to cancel their seasons and stuff.
But they canceled their basketball tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we were in Atlantic City watching it on TV. Where we were getting ready for our first game, and we saw that the Ivy League they weren't even having one.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad.
Everyone was like, oh, that's never going to be us. And I was like, oh, just kidding. But I think the first school I heard about was Amherst. Men's lacrosse season getting canceled, and I was like, that sucks. Like, I can't believe they did that. Like, whatever. And then Ivy League canceled, and I was like, okay, this is getting a little closer to Patriot League. Like, this is not looking so good. Right. And then we got called in for a meeting, and Coach McConnell was like, we're going to be going home, and we're going to be returning April 6th. So that was our hope that we're going to come back. And she's like, when we return, we're going to finish the games, and we're going to have like 3 games a week and just make up the ones we missed, and we're going to go about season regularly. Like, okay, like, that's fine, whatever. And then the next day, Patriot League canceled everything. So we're like, okay, well, April 6th is no longer, like, we could still maybe go back to school, but the lacrosse is no more.
Exactly.
So everyone was like, I remember I was so annoyed because I had a midterm right before I found out, like 10 minutes before. I remember I was like crying on the phone with my mom, like, and my friend Quinn, also in my class, shout out Quinn, she's an amazing goalie. We were like both crying taking the midterm, and everyone was like looking at us, and we were like, tears were like on my paper. I was like, I passed out that class because I probably did so bad on that. I was like wanting to get out of there so bad.
Oh, God.
But and then we found out, and we had another meeting, and I felt so bad for the seniors because, like I said before, we didn't know that Rutgers was our last lacrosse game ever, like even for them. So,
yeah.
And then my freshman year roommate Josie, I don't know if you remember me talking about her, probably not, but
probably did.
She's really, really smart, and she's graduating now. She's graduating a year early. So I felt so bad for her because like she's already leaving a year early, and then everything got cut short.
Yeah.
So the seniors were super emotional, but as they should have been. But we had like a makeshift senior night for them at a local restaurant, and we like decorated really nicely. We did senior speeches.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we did really fun stuff for them. So I think they're really thankful, but it obviously didn't end the way they wanted to, but we made it special for them, which was cool. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you did what you could.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sure they appreciate that for what it was.
Yeah, for sure. It was nice.
And so you sort of kind of got into that about your reaction, you know, crying during the midterm and the seniors being upset. But, you know, what was everyone's reaction like from the coaches down?
Yeah, I feel like even like the athletic director, I think they're all just really disappointed because they knew how hard we've worked, and we're like right at we didn't even get to Patriot League play there. Like we weren't even there. So I think we're just frustrated because we were so close and we knew how good we could have been. And we really wanted to play like Colgate and American and all those other Patriot League games. Mm-hmm. So I think everyone was just disappointed that it ended at the time it did.
Right.
But like you said, we try to make the most of it.
Yeah. No, that's good. And, you know, you mentioned the April 6th date. Mm-hmm. And just talk to me about like what the school did. What was your communication with, you know, Lafayette, the college?
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can. It feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
It's literally almost July, and I'm like, April?
Yeah. What was it, like 3 months ago? March is 3.
Yeah.
What are we in now? We're in June?
We're almost July, yeah.
3 months?
Yeah.
Jeez, feels like, yeah.
So long. But we went home like late March.
Right.
So we went home, and I think the return date was still supposed to be, I think it got pushed back to April 15th, or was it April 6th? I don't remember. But it was sometime in April we were supposed to go back. So we went home. We were thinking, like, I only packed up, like, half my stuff because I was thinking I was going to go back.
Yep.
And then we heard back that we're no longer going to go back to school. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, I wasn't as disappointed because I kind of saw it coming because I'm like, there's no way with this pandemic that we're going to be able to go back to school. Like, kids coming from all these different states, like, I thought we should just quarantine at school and stayed there, but that would have been fun.
That's what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Me and my roommates, shout out Nick, Joe, and Tucker. That's what we were gonna do.
It would have been so fun and just like perfect because just quarantine us at school and we're so small anyways. But you can't have kids go home and then come back and bring things in. So I wasn't surprised, but I was disappointed that I had to do like school online for the rest of the semester. I hated that. It was terrible. So we got an email about that. Obviously, the president was really disappointed and sad. So. And our coaches were upset, but we did like Zooms with them, the coaches, weekly meetings to keep in touch. Right. My professors were really good about it. We did like classes at the same time, on Zoom or Google Meet, same time as it always would be. Okay,
so you had the what is it called, synchronous?
Yeah.
Classes?
We had synchronous classes, but if you couldn't make it, there was an asynchronous option.
Okay, so was it like you had to complete like a worksheet or like read in the textbook?
Yeah, so like one of my classes was at 9 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and she recorded every lecture. So if you weren't there, you could just watch it. You don't do any extra work.
Oh, that's pretty.
But I just went to 9 a.m. because I like a schedule. So
right, yeah.
But my other class was if you miss the lecture at the 1:15, then you have to read the article and write something about it. So just like a short blurb. Geez. So I just liked going to class because I was like, it might as well keep the same schedule going. So, but
yeah. And I remember seeing each other at the track. And I remember seeing you. You're like, we're still supposed to go back. And I'm just like, Liz, I hope you do because like
I still had hope back then. I was happy.
You were optimistic.
I was optimistic.
That's all that matters. But we got canceled too earlier that week, so I was just like, I hope it happens.
So the time I saw you, you were already canceled.
I believe so. Yeah. But what we did is we extended our spring break at first. Okay. And then after the extended spring, like during the second week of the extended spring break, we got an email that said, during the first week that said, we're done. Get your stuff out by, I think get your stuff out by the end of the break. So like they gave us a week and a half to go to campus and get our stuff out. Yeah.
That's weird because we didn't get our stuff until like I didn't get any of my stuff until May.
No way.
Yeah, I think we had to make an appointment. They didn't know when we could come back. We had to come back. We had to wait to come back until Pennsylvania lifted up their like lockdown or whatever.
No.
So I didn't go back until May, like mid-May, to get my rest of my stuff.
Dang.
I know. So I went with my parents and got that, but all my stuff was there, and it was so weird.
Right. Like, was it? You only bring half of your stuff home. Mm-hmm. How was it? Because I remember in the 2 weeks I was miserable. Yeah. Like not having
anything.
Like half of my clothes, like some of my toiletries, like my toothbrush and everything, and like. How was that going so long without some of your like important stuff?
I bought most of my like athletic clothes home and then left a lot of my nicer clothes at school. Okay. Because obviously during quarantine I wasn't going anywhere, so I just wore the same thing like over and over again. Right. It was like pretty gross, but I was like, I'm not going anywhere and I'm not doing anything, so might as well just be dirty. Yeah. So that wasn't too bad, but I was just annoyed because I wanted to get my like pillows and blankets because I hate the smell of like musty blankets that are like in a dorm room for a long period of time. It's disgusting. But I got home and washed it, and luckily I had a key to my house for this year. So I moved some of the bigger stuff into my room.
Oh, great.
And it worked out. Right. But it wasn't too bad. I just wore the same clothes every day.
Yeah, I feel that. And I had to go without my body pillow. Oh, shout out to all my body people.
Is that the long, like the big long one?
Yes, the big long one that you could just snuggle up against every night. Nice. And my I have a pillow that's supposed to be like cool and it's memory foam.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it has like these gel pads. Yeah, it has like these gel pads on it, but it's also memory foam. So like. But it doesn't work half the time.
It doesn't?
It'll keep your head cold for maybe like 15 minutes longer than a normal pillow would.
Yeah, but then body heat just probably
warms it. Exactly. Body heat just takes over and it's just
it always takes over.
Can't have it. Yeah. No, that's crazy. Like I couldn't imagine leaving like me being myself, and I know you probably didn't have this problem, but like for any guy who was on campus and left their video games at home.
I know. I think a lot of people are probably really frustrated about that because we had no idea that we weren't coming back. So,
and then the quarantine.
I know.
What are you gonna do?
I bet didn't know what to do themselves. Yeah. But a lot of my friends who live far away, everyone was telling them to just bring everything because like I had friends from California or abroad. Right. Like I don't even know how they got their stuff. I think they had like a friend move it out for them because like honestly, if I was from California, I wouldn't fly all the way to Lafayette just to get some stuff in May. Like So I'd have a friend move it, but it was really hard. It was really hard for them.
That's a lot. And do you have a lot of international students?
I think a decent amount. Not like a ton, but definitely a lot. I have a lot of international friends on the field hockey team. Okay. I have a friend from Ireland, Canada, a girl from Germany. But we don't have any international kids like on our team, but there's a good amount that don't play sports and on the field hockey team.
Right. Yeah. Oh, awesome. You kind of already got into that, but what was it like at home? Like, what did you do?
What did I do at home? I did nothing. Well, when I got home, I think I was just like really tired when I first got home because it was like a roller coaster right before. Yeah. So I remember just sleeping a lot, and then I got my energy back, and then I was like, okay, might as well just like start working out. But we didn't have like a physical fitness packet yet from our trainer because it was March. Like we would have still been playing lacrosse. So I got my like non-athletic life together, and I was like, this is what it's gonna be like when I graduate. So I got my like influencer YouTubers on the TV, and I did workouts in the living room, like body weight Pilates stuff.
We love to see it.
Yeah, but then that's what I did, and I got the Orange Theory app on my phone, and they had like at-home workouts. That was really nice. That was not bad. Nice. But I used to work at Barnes & Noble in high school. Yes.
Shout out Liz. We come and visit Liz every year.
Oh yeah, you get a 30% discount. But so I worked there since I was I think it was...
You were working there over quarantine?
No. I mean in high school. Like when I started working,
right, yeah.
I think junior year or senior year. I don't remember. But I was working there for a long time. And then they're closed, obviously. Not anymore. But when quarantine first happened, so they like laid everyone off.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a job. And then they reopened, but it's just like full-time and managers because they probably don't need like part-time and whatever.
Right.
Oh, my math's over. And then my summer day camp, I remember I did a Tom DeWitt day camp.
Yes.
From 9 to 12, just a pre-K one, but that got canceled as well. Mm-hmm. So I didn't do that. But this summer I'm just doing the corn stand in Janesville.
That's fun.
And it's starting in July. I think.
Right. For those who don't know, Liz just sits in Janesville's like very rural part of our town, and Liz just sits at the corn stand and sells corn
for
to
4
passersby.
hours. Yeah, it's actually so easy and it's very relaxing, and I get free corn, and it's really good corn.
Yeah, good corn.
And the Mullers are so nice, so it's not a bad deal. But honestly, because I don't know, well, I haven't really seen anyone, but now I've seen more people because it's like getting a little bit better here.
Yeah. Starting to lift some of the...
Yeah, I went to New Jersey to see one of my friends in her beach houses. That was fun a couple weeks ago.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm doing fun things during quarantine, trying to stay busy. I'm going to my other friend's house in New Jersey for 4th of July.
Okay, that's fun.
But other than that, not much. Not much is new. Right. Not much is exciting.
Yes.
Same with you, nothing.
Yeah, nothing really. It's just been... It's getting to the point, and I know a lot of people our age can relate to this. It's like living with your parents for like a really, really long time. Because, I haven't been home for more than a month.
Because basketball.
Yeah. Since I graduated from high school.
And now it's just like, feels like forever, probably.
So this is the longest I've been home since high school. So like, it's really weird,
It
I
is
haven't
really
been
weird.
home for like a full summer. Like, and now that we've already been home for a couple months, and now we have to do a full summer home.
And we're not really working or not like we're not going out because we can't, and then you're literally stuck. It's terrible, but you have to do it to keep everyone else safe. So
Exactly.
But I remember I would leave the house and I wouldn't tell my parents where I was going because I forget. Like I'm like I forget that I have to like.
I'm a big person. I do that.
Yeah, I'm like I never like I leave my dorm and I'm like, hey mom, I'm calling you to let you know. I'm like. So it's just definitely different. I need to like tell her what I'm doing, and even my sister, she's home because she's working remotely for Syracuse and she's 25, and so she's like literally like, what the hell is going on? Like, But my parents have been good about it. They're not like overbearing or anything, so that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is weird,
good. Right? And what has life been like without sports? I know that. Obviously, without lacrosse, that's been your life for the past 15 or so years?
First grade.
Yeah, so like the past 15 years, lacrosse has been your life in the spring. Like it's all you've ever known. What has that been like?
Well, in general, like for watching purposes on television.
Yeah, you can't even turn on the TV.
My dad was watching video game soccer the other day. I'm like, what is it? Terrible. Like,
FIFA.
Yeah. Like I don't like that stuff, but some people might. Or like there's like these virtual car races people are doing. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Curling.
Like simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw like a clip of like curling from like Olympics. Like what?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's really boring. Because I like watching sports with my dad when I'm home. It's fun.
Right.
And especially lacrosse. Like I loved watching the NCAA tournament. It was really
in Memorial Day.
Yeah. That was I always looked forward to watching that, but that didn't occur. And I can't even play lacrosse right now because the goals at JD are locked up.
Yeah.
They weren't for a little bit, and we took advantage of that. Sam and I did.
Yeah.
And then
Shout out
Sam McKenna, number 24, UConn lacrosse.
UConn.
But now they're locked up, and now I can't even play lacrosse.
Okay, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
What?
Remember how I went to the Hill today?
Oh yeah.
There's 2 goals at Linden. On the second to last hill, I saw 2 of them on the side closest to like where people walk down
on the road, like the roadside.
No, it was on the field, the grass field in Linden,
like closer to the softball field.
Yes.
Okay.
The second highest one. I saw 2 goals. I don't know if they're still there.
Today you saw this.
saw this today.
All right, I'm gonna check it out tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Right.
But I also found out today that Mike has a goal on his turf. But I found that out today too. I was like working out. I'm like, Mike, you should get a goal. And he's like, I have one. I've had one this whole time.
This is your trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
But
okay. I didn't know.
You didn't tell anyone. Yeah.
So.
How long has it been since you've taken a shot?
Well, I went with Sam a couple weeks ago, and then the goals were sold out.
Oh, right.
But prior to that, the Rutgers game, which was March 13th, March 10th, like early March. So that was a while ago, but I think the coaches were mentioning, like, their big concern is people coming back and, like, tearing the ACL or hurting themselves, because lacrosse running and basketball running is very different than just doing, like, a mile or 100 yards. Like, the turning and agility, like, you're really sore after the first day of practice because you haven't done it in so long, like, even summer. So now we've been gone for so long. I think they're talking about...
No, it does. Yeah. So, sorry, technical difficulties.
No worries.
But what were we talking about? Oh, you were talking
injury prevention.
Yes. This is interesting. So, it's concerning because, like, you've been doing all this, you've been working out, like, when you can and how you can, like, within your home and stuff. But you're right, it's not the same as, getting out on the lacrosse field.
And running, yeah. Like, we would have summer league games every Tuesday starting in May, like last year, but we don't have that anymore. Like, that was good, at least to I don't even know if I remember how to play lacrosse. Like, this is the longest I've gone without playing lacrosse in my whole entire life.
It has to be.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And
that's rough.
And this is my last summer of, like, lacrosse training too, and it's like, it just feels it's so weird. This is our life right now, but I have to get used to it. But our strength coach gave us a lot of agility stuff to do because he's scared about, like, the injury stuff, which makes sense. And they're really stressing that, like, you need to do the agility stuff. You need to do that, which I get. But
no, my biggest fear is, basketball. Thank God, it's hard to take down a basketball rim. So I've been able to find rims, whether it's a friend's house or whether it's, going to, like, the local schools and the local parks. And my biggest like you said is the traction and the footing. Yeah. Because I haven't been on hardwood since March. Yeah. It's weird. It's like I'm thankful to be able to get on a court and work out, but getting on actual hardwood,
it's so different.
Yeah, exactly. It's so different in how you cut and how you move, and, like, also just the 5-on-5. Because think about, like, when, especially, like, in lacrosse, where you're having someone, physically guard you. Yeah. I know the women's game is not, like, as, you're not hitting each other as much, but, it's definitely a lot of adjustment, and people are gonna have to make some adjustments to, like, how the season
how they play now. Yeah, and, like, coaches are gonna have to change their plans, definitely. And I feel bad for incoming freshmen. Right. Because they have, like, no idea what any of this stuff is, and now they're, like, coming into a new, like, scary Corona campus. Like, I would be terrified. Yeah. And, like, there might be less social interaction. Like, how they meet people, I don't know. I would be scared.
And that's the biggest thing about freshman year. The biggest thing you could do in your first 2 weeks of freshman year is just go out and meet as many people as you can. Find out who you like and who you don't like. And, maybe by the end of the week you don't like them, but at least, like,
you found that out.
Yeah. At least, like, you've taken the time to really meet someone from probably somewhere that's not where you're from. And that's one of the great things about college.
I know. That's why we miss it so much. Yeah. Being at home, being isolated from any social interaction from people our age. Mm-hmm. But speaking of the freshmen, that school in Maine, is it Bowdoin? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Yeah, but
I don't know.
Either this sounds the same. It's like Oregon. Tomato, same thing. But their model is that only freshmen are coming back to campus in the fall, and seniors who have, like, research projects, and then RAs and people who don't have access to computers at home. Like, imagine being an incoming freshman with just freshmen on campus. Like, how do you meet anyone?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just meeting freshmen, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, but, like, no sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
Right. Like, you have no one to show you the ropes. Yeah. It's like here, it's like the Hunger Games. You're throwing all these people out there. Yeah. And, like, you have no idea.
I'd be so upset if I was a freshman.
Yeah. Yeah. And definitely, you use, especially being part of a team, like, you use, like, the older people
to find your way.
Yeah. exactly. And they definitely teach you a lot. They take you under their wings and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk to me about like how communication has been going with your teammates.
Like during this time?
Yeah.
Like how we've been keeping in touch and stuff?
Yeah, like group chats. And...
Mm-hmm. So we have a group chat with the coaches, like group me.
Okay.
And like in March and stuff, we would just send like fun things that we're doing. Like people would be like, oh, I just baked cookies, or I just went for a walk with my mom. Just send pictures in to like update people, which was cool.
Yeah.
And then we did Instagram takeovers on Left. That was really fun. That was a fun idea. And then we have a group chat that we do just without the coaches, and we send sweaty selfies in it. So after you work out, you like take a picture of yourself and explain what you did, or just like fun things, keeping in touch. And then we have like before like summer started, we were in March and April. We did weekly meetings with coaches. Right. We did team meetings. I just did a team meeting 2 days ago about like updates and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they've been really good about keeping in touch. I've been doing like group FaceTime calls with my friends. So we're making the most out of it, but it's definitely weird. But our team has been keeping in touch, which is really good.
Yeah, that's great. And what did the Liz O'Brien Instagram takeover look like?
Oh, that was so fun. I had so much fun with it. So I woke up, introduced myself. Then
hi guys, I'm Lizzie.
I'm number 35, and I'm going to take you through my fun quarantine Sunday. It was a Sunday. I did it done. I remember that line. I was like rehearsing it in my head. Me and my mom went to Syracuse University, and I took like a video of the new dome construction and stuff, and we walked around there. It was pretty cool. Awesome. Yeah. And what else did I do? I can't even remember. It was so cool. I featured Quincy in it. I made a TikTok of my dog. Yeah. He's half golden retriever, half Australian shepherd. He's very cute. So I put him in there with a TikTok. I made one for him. And then I went to Tessa's house, actually, and I featured her. Okay. Harvard Lax, my friend Tessa. She plays for Harvard. And she did a dance for me, and I videotaped it, and I tagged at Harvard Lax. But I didn't repost it. Whatever, I know.
I think you're too good for Liz and Tessa's dance. I know.
But then I featured my dad in there, too. Oh, I'll get to that. I remember now. But I featured my dad in it, and we played like a card game, and he was on there. That was pretty funny. And then the most important part, I went to my grandparents' house, but I didn't go in because this was still when like Corona was bad, and I wore a mask and stuff. And they met me outside. I took like a boomerang of them. This was my African-American grandfather and Grandma Judy. We call them Poppy Leroy and Grandma Judy. My teammates do, because Grandma Judy makes really good banana bread. Okay. And she sends it to me like once a month in the mail, and I bring it to the team room all the time. So my teammates are like obsessed with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I made her make me a banana bread. I took a video of it and featured her in there. So that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Grandma Judy is very famous on our team, so is Poppy Leroy.
Yes.
So
Grandma Judy.
It was fun. Leroy. It was a fun takeover, but it was fun to see everyone else's and see what like all the teammates were up to. So it was a cool idea.
Right.
Do you guys do a takeover?
No. The women's team did.
Oh, you guys should.
And they've been doing them. And we definitely should. And I don't know. What am I show? Like my dad grilling? I
know there was nothing to do. My mom and I were like, what do we do? Yeah. But it was fun just like mess around with it.
Right. Yeah. No, it gives you time to be creative and stuff.
You'd be good at it. I feel like with your podcast skills, you'd be good at taking over.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, recording podcast
Echols, welcome to my takeover.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Terrence. Nice to see you all. What would you say this whole situation, the coronavirus, everything, affecting your season and your family, friends, teammates, and what has this whole thing taught you?
Yeah, so I feel like with Corona, it's taught us to, like I said before, make the most out of what you're given. Like not everything is going to be easy, so this is definitely like a rough patch. So I think it taught good life lessons to learn that, like how to adapt to things that aren't expected and how to go with the flow, which I'm not very good at. So it's forced me to do that stuff.
Yes.
So I think it's like a terrible situation, but I think we've like matured in that way, like being able to adapt to some hard situations. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I wish it's never happened, but it's taught me some important lessons in how to,
just deal with adversity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But regarding the like Black Lives Matter movement and stuff. I feel like that's it's really nice to be able to talk to like my teammates since we're all home, have time to do all this stuff, discussing, reading, watching things. So I think that's really awesome, having the time to being able to like discuss things. Like even yesterday we had a Zoom with our AD. There was three basketball girls who were African American were also leading it, and just talking to us about things that were going on. There's like 97 people in it, so it's cool that like we're still doing this stuff even with Corona. So dealing with adversity, how we're gonna deal with it. So I think that was cool.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, and it's amazing what this summer itself is taught everyone.
Yeah, how to adapt.
Yeah, and I feel like it's only going to make our generation stronger and better, and we're going to continue to take the steps needed in order to advance in this life, And what would you say to your teammates right now?
I miss you. I would say for the seniors specifically, I would say let's have the best year yet. Yeah. We keep talking about that. Like in our group chat, we're like, next year is going to be cinematic. Like, it's going to be a movie. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. So I feel like for the senior class, let's kill it and have so much fun and not worry about little things, Have fun with each other, enjoy our time together because it does go by fast. And for like the underclassmen, I'd also say enjoy yourselves because I can't believe I'm going to be a senior. Like we're seniors and it's insane. So I would do anything to get my 4 years back. Like I would do anything to be a freshman again. It was so fun. I do not want to graduate.
Right. Yeah.
So I think just enjoy it and have fun and don't worry about little things. And I miss every single one of them and I hope they're all doing well. But I've been talking to them a lot, so they're doing okay. But it's so weird. We were talking about it today, like that this is our life. We're in masks and being worried about getting a deathly virus. Like if someone was in a coma and they woke up today and they're like watching people wearing masks, what would they think? Like a nuclear explosion happened? Like it's so crazy. But
exactly. Yeah. No, I can't imagine, if someone like if someone were in a coma like in that situation. And, people have been listing, all the terrible things that have happened this year. Like, starting on January 26th when Kobe Bryant passed away.
Oh, my God. I still get so sad about that. Yeah. That really, that's terrible. That's, that was so sad.
Yeah. No, that one hit me
hard. Same. Like, his little girl, too. Like, that's just... Yeah. Like, it didn't have... Like even a car, like a helicopter crash, I was like, oh, everyone was so sad. I cried. I was watching those movies and those YouTube videos, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, and then I thought it couldn't get any worse, and then 100,000 people in this country die from a deadly virus, and then our country then turns into turmoil because of racism and some stuff that should have been resolved centuries ago. And it's hard to wrap my head around, all the ridiculously amazing things that have happened this year. And, it just makes me feel like blessed to be here and to be in this moment and to have these opportunities in front of us because like this year has taught us exactly what it's like to just have something just
stripped away,
taken away like that.
Like enjoy the little things. You never know what's gonna happen next, but like you said, we really had to learn how to deal with it. I can't believe Kobe Bryant died. Rest in peace. Like that, when you said that, I literally every time it's like no.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. Like it was just a tough because I remember we had just gotten out of practice. Guys were just getting to their phones and everyone is just like.
I thought it was fake. Like I thought, I was like, no way.
Yeah, we were showing the coaches. The coach was like, "Oh, that's fake."
Yeah, and then it was like, "No, that's real." Yeah, but I feel like this is the first time someone not the first time, but pretty recently, someone really, really famous has passed away. I mean, probably, but in this way, like a helicopter crash with their little girl. Like this has been a really big
and a bunch in other families.
Yeah, too. And there was the coach was in there or something. And
I don't know.
That's so sad.
Yeah. No, it's just tragic, and this year hasn't been a great year, but
but it's important to to like this Black Lives Matter stuff, like this is stuff that needs to be recognized, and finally like all these protests, like this is awesome. So it's good that
no doubt
this stuff is coming out of it as a result. But
absolutely like I said, and we're about halfway through, and it can only get better from here. So optimistic that
right direction.
Exactly. We're gonna have a cinematic senior year.
It's gonna be 2021 is gonna be a movie. Let me tell you, you heard it here first. 2021 is going to be a movie.
Yeah, looking forward to everyone littering Instagram with that caption.
I know.
This is a movie. Last night was a movie. This and that. So getting off of the some more somber note and getting into something that you're probably more excited to talk about. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about why you chose Lafayette and why you chose to play lacrosse in college. And if I'm not mistaken, you were the first person in our high school class, to choose where they were going to go to college. Because I remember it was the middle of sophomore year.
It was winter of sophomore year.
Yeah. And I was like, Liz she committed.
Yeah.
Like, she knows where she's going. And the amazing thing about it is, like, you talk about your school like it's the greatest thing on earth, and like you made that decision a year and a half before.
I was lucky because I had no idea what I was doing. I was 16, but sophomore year, you were 16, 17. Yeah, I went to a lot of lacrosse camps when I was a freshman and sophomore, because back then there wasn't a rule. Like, now there's a rule that coaches can't contact you until September 1st of your junior year, I think. So now that's much better, I think, because I had a friend in my club team who committed to Syracuse in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. And I didn't want to, like, commit to a school that young, but you kind of, like, had to, because if you didn't, then you were, like, if you didn't commit by, like, mid-junior year, you were kind of behind, and you're like, oh, my God, everyone already had their classes picked. So, it was definitely stressful, because I was like, I have no idea what I was 16, like, I still don't know what I want to do, and I go, like, I had no idea.
Got time.
I got time. You still have time. That's the thing. Like, time is on your side.
Right.
But, I visited a lot of schools, and then my dad actually brought up Lafayette. I'd never even heard of it. He was looking at Patriot League schools, because he's like, I think you would fit in with a Patriot League school because they're small, nice. Like, I wanted a smaller school.
Right.
And so he's like, let's just look at these. And we looked at Lafayette and Lehigh in the same day. We just toured around. So this is nice. But again, I was like 16. I'm like I don't know what's nice and whatever. So, and then I went to a couple camps there, and I really liked the coach. And I really liked the school, like the Lafayette's like awesome campus. So then I got the offer, I took it, and that was it. But
that's all she wrote. Yeah,
I was just looking for like smaller schools that were like pretty strong academically, and like not too far from home either. Lafayette's only like 3 hours from here. I didn't want to be too close, but I didn't want to be like 8 hours from home either.
Yeah, or have to take a plane.
Yeah, and then I've loved it ever since. Freshman year, it was awesome. I met some of my best friends in my college dorm south. And then sophomore year was great. Junior year was great. And senior year is going to be even better.
It's going to be a movie. Yes.
But yeah, it seems like so long ago I committed. Like, I had...
You did? Like, yeah, I remember when it happened.
Was it 5 years ago?
Yeah. Was it 5 years ago?
Because we're juniors now. Sophomore.
Sophomore year, it was 2015.
Yeah. 5 years ago, brother. Whoa.
Liz.
Yeah, but boy. I don't regret any second of it, so that's awesome. I got lucky. I feel like a lot of people have, like, if they chose a school at 16, they wouldn't know, but I was lucky.
You just knew.
I just knew, and it was awesome, and I met all my best friends that I'm going to have forever, and I'm very lucky.
Right. And talk to me a little bit about, making a decision so early to play college lacrosse, which is it's not like, oh, I'm gonna have a cheeseburger for lunch. That's a big decision to dedicate, the 4 most important years of development in your life to playing a sport as well.
I think because I spent so much time with it, I wanted it to be my goal to play Division I college lacrosse, because I'm like, I've been playing since first grade all season long. Like, I want this to be like my ultimate goal. Like, I love it so much. It's like my life, basically. Like, because of lacrosse, I met like all my best friends in high school. Because of lacrosse, like, I got to go to my favorite college ever, Lafayette, that I'm literally obsessed with. Like, And because of lacrosse, I've made all my best friends at Lafayette too, in sports. So I'm like, it's done so many great things for me since first grade. Like I want to continue that. So that was part of my decision. And I liked like being a part of a team. I always liked that. Like it was like literally a second family. So that was why. But also, I do better with a structure. Like I'm very like if I don't have a schedule, I don't do things very promptly. Like when we're on 8-hour weeks, like I procrastinate my homework so much. Like I'm very more productive, or much more productive. That was terrible English. I'm much more productive when I have schedule.
Yes.
So I think I needed that. And my mom was like, you need a schedule. Like you don't do well if you don't on. So that was also another benefit for me. So I could never imagine not playing sport though. Like
because it forces you
to like you have to do your work at this time because if you don't, you're gonna fail. Like literally. So
and then like it's like, oh, you can't pull an all-nighter because you have 8 a.m. weights the next day.
Oh, 6 a.m. practice. Woohoo! Oh. But it's really nice. Because college, like, you go from high school and it's what, like 7 a.m. to 3:30, then you have practice from 4 to 6, and you eat dinner and you go to bed. Yeah. But college is like, you have a lot of time. Yeah. Like, you don't realize it, but if I didn't play sport, like, I have no idea what I would do with myself. Like, the windows of practice and the windows of lift and all that stuff, like
the off days during the season, I feel so unproductive.
I know.
Because I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
They're always nice, but unproductive.
Right. Yeah.
A nice break.
No, it's great. It's great for rest.
Yeah.
You know, it's something you need.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
You just follow your friends around who don't play a sport.
I know, and I like waste so much money on food because we always go out to eat on our off days. Oh. It's like every Sunday morning, my friends and I would go to this breakfast place in Easton called Steak Cafe and Grill, but we call it Blue Sky. I don't know why. I think it was called Blue Sky before. They're the best pancakes in the world ever. So if you ever go to Lafayette, I think it's the best breakfast place I've ever been to. So if you ever go to Easton, Pennsylvania and visit Lafayette, go to Steak Cafe and Grill. Liz. So I probably like all my bank account, it's gone because of that restaurant. I spent so much money there.
Liz, you just said okay. We're from Syracuse, New York. You think Blue Sky is better than Rustin's, Stella's?
Yeah, I've been to both, and I think it's better.
And the granddaddy of them all, in my favorite breakfast place in Syracuse, Mother's Cupboard.
Oh, Mother's Cupboard. My dad likes that place.
I love it.
Better pancakes at this place, though.
Oh, Mother's Cupboard does?
No. Or Blue Sky.
Okay, I'll give it that. But I mean,
I've only been to Mother's Cupboard once, so I had to try the menu out more. Right. Also, Rise and Shine's pretty good here in Westcott Street.
I haven't been there.
I went there yesterday, actually. But this place, they have really good, like, they call it stir fry, and you can put, like, anything you want, eggs, potatoes. It's like this big breakfast? Yeah, but it's like breakfast stir fry. And then there's pancakes. There's really good breakfast sandwiches with, like, pesto on it. There's, like, these French toast. They have a special pancakes. They did, like, a pumpkin one in the fall. They did a Samoa one for Girl Scout cookies. Okay. I get blueberry pancakes, and they're, like, this thick. And there's Baby Mama for the small one, and Big Mama for the big size.
Okay. And what is the big size? Can you finish the big size?
Yeah, but I always get the stir fry. I make my own stir fry, and then a Baby Mama pancake.
Okay.
And then I'm so full after, but so good. It's so good.
Solid.
But you smell like breakfast the whole day, because you know what I mean? When you go in, like, I wear my jacket there, and I'm like, ooh, it reeks of, like, eggs.
Like food being cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hate that. I feel like if someone were to ever invent something that would be, like, the best invention would be just, like, and they probably already made it, like a spray that'll just, like, deodorize your
Honestly,
clothing.
I don't know. I've never heard of that. You should go on Shark Tank and present your idea.
Yeah, you know, I gotta just figure out, like, how the chemicals work to make
or like something you can put, like, on you while you're at the restaurant to prevent you from, like, smelling like when you get out. Like, I'm in the library afterwards and I'm like, I smell my breakfast. It's just like grease.
Yes, Liz. You might
maybe we're onto something.
Yeah, no, that's smart. Yeah. No, absolutely. And so
we should pad this idea right now so no one takes it that's listening to the podcast.
True, exactly. You know, and I'm so glad we have it recorded. Exactly.
To this day. Yes. What time is it?
No one take our idea, please.
June 25th, 7:56 p.m. Terrence Echols and I developed the greatest creation.
Exactly.
We made 2020 positive.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
Best
go.
thing to come out of 2020. So I'm not sure if you'll have the same answer for this question, but my next question is, what is the best thing about Lafayette?
No.
Blue sky.
Blue sky. Wow, there's so many things I like about Lafayette. I think the best part of Lafayette is, okay, there's like a couple, but I'm gonna say the people in the athletics community, like the people I've met. Even actually, I just say people in general because I've met so many people that don't play sports that are amazing, and professors that I love. Like I had a professor this semester. Shout out Professor Childs. He was the best professor ever. Like it was a 3-hour seminar class, 5 people in my class only, and it was awesome. It was so cool. We learned. It was like
3 hours just hanging out with 5 people.
Yeah, 8 to 10:50 every Tuesday.
Oh my god.
It was only once a week though, but it was so nice, and we read all these really cool books. It was basically talking about like current health issues in society and like how it relates, and it was really cool. And especially during coronavirus, we like learned so much.
Yeah.
But that like made me wanna maybe get a master's in public health because of that class. Like he's literally awesome. So if you ever want to meet someone cool, meet Professor Childs. But the people, professors, teammates, non-athletes, coaching staff, like everyone there is just really helpful, and they made my experience like 10 times better just because they're very welcoming and always there when you need it. My friends are awesome, so I think that's what makes the environment so much better, is definitely the people.
Absolutely.
But I love the campus too, how small it is. Like I'd wake up, go to class at 9 o'clock class. I would leave at 8:58.
Yeah.
And I'd still make it on time. It was like right there. Like it was like me walking to that door.
Right.
So it was so nice.
Yeah.
I don't like walking that far.
Yeah.
My longest walk is 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, where's the athletics complex? Is that close to like the dorms and the
That's my farthest walk.
Okay,
it's
that's
a little
10
bit
minutes?
Yeah.
Same.
If you're walking slow, like if you're walking from the farthest building away from the lift center or Maroon Club, that's probably like a 15-minute walk. If it's like furthest point to furthest point. But on average, my longest walk is like 10 minutes. Okay. My shortest walk is 30 seconds.
Right.
So,
yeah. 30 seconds.
Literally. No, I would. It's like you could see the place from your door. Like you could touch it almost.
Right. Oh, that's breezy.
Because it's like a little square. There's like a quad, and then there's like buildings all around.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. And then the field is like over yonder.
Okay. So. Interesting. I'm gonna have to come take a look.
Yeah, you should. But we're lucky too because lacrosse, girls lacrosse, men's lacrosse, and football are the only sports that play on the on-campus turf. Baseball, softball, field hockey, soccer play on Metzger, which is an off-campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then basketball, obviously.
Yeah, it's the gym.
Arena.
Mm-hmm. And then swimming, there's a pool in that facility too. And tennis is on campus too.
Oh, okay. Okay, great.
Everything else is at Metzger.
So, I asked about one thing that was good about Lafayette, and you pretty much said everything. So, I mean, if you don't, God forbid you don't get a job or find a profession in public health, Liz, you could work for the Lafayette department. Well,
I honestly would, but yeah, so I'm planning to apply to jobs, but I don't know how the job market's going to be after all this either. Yeah. So I'm going to apply to a few grad schools just in case and see if I get a good job, I'll take the job. Mm-hmm. If not, I go to grad school. I like having options.
Yeah.
Especially during this time. So I'm like, not sure what I want to do, but we'll find out.
Yeah. No, and like you said, you have plenty of time. Yeah. And I'm sure the people at Lafayette are going to take care of you. They're going to put you in the right direction. Exactly. And what is your favorite activity to do as a team? Blue sky.
Blue sky. That's a top 5, definitely, for sure.
Okay.
But this year we did a lot of fun things with our new coach. She had like a lot of cool ideas for us. I remember, this is just one instance, but she's like, okay, we're dressing up for Halloween. We're split into a maroon and white team. We do like maroon and white competitions all the time. Okay. That was really fun. That whole season we did. So we were like competing. Everything was like maroon or white.
Okay.
So we did a maroon and white competition for Halloween costumes.
Okay.
And we dressed up, and Instagram voters like voted on the story which ones they liked better. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, okay, get changed, put your athletic stuff on, your practice clothes. We're going to go do like a CrossFit run. And we never done that stuff before. And she's like, I'm going to go get the sandbags from outside. We're going to do overhead carries with sandbags. I was we're all like, oh my God, what? And then she comes outside to get the sandbags with like 2 other teammates. And the 2 other teammates come running back inside with like huge smile on their face. And they're holding pumpkins. And she was just joking. We did a pumpkin carving contest for like practice for like 2 hours. It was so fun. It was another moonlight competition, but it was so funny because she'd be like, "Oh my God, like we had to do this hard like sandbag carrying thing," and they came back with pumpkins. So that was really fun. But I also like traveling as a team, like road trips and stuff. Bus rides are fun.
Yeah. Have you gone on a plane as a team yet?
I've never been on the plane with it. Well, I've been on the plane, but not with a team.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
Yeah, we did. We went to Daytona.
Oh, that's so fun.
Year. Yeah, right around Christmas. Like, we had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was.
But it was warm.
Yeah, and then the year before, I didn't get to travel, but we went to Ireland.
Oh, that's so fun.
And I did get to go to Texas.
Oh wow, you've been a lot of places.
Yeah,
that's so nice.
Yeah, it's only about 2 or 3 plane rides a year.
Yeah.
We were going to go to London this year, but that got canceled.
Oh, it would have been so fun.
Yeah, they play at the O2 Arena, like the really big one that they had the Olympics at.
Oh my God, that would have been sick.
Yeah.
That sucks. So you guys didn't get to do that.
Mm-hmm. And Kentucky and Michigan were going.
Whoa, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
What month was it supposed to be in?
December. Like, I think it was like around Christmas time that we were supposed to go. But yeah,
that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like, the Patriot League came out with fall plans. They're saying like no overnight travel for fall sports.
Really? Jeez.
All league games should be going on, I think, from what I get. But if the auto league games, it's like up to discretion of the auto league game if they want to come and if they're like following the right guidelines for like how. I'm kind of confused by it, but it sounds like they are gonna have a season, but it's definitely gonna be different.
Yeah, and I can't imagine what our football team has to go through because our football team plays in the PFL, and in their conference.
What's PFL?
It's the Pioneer Football League because the MAC conference does not have football, which is why I propose, Maris, do whatever you can to join the Patriot League because that would just make things so much easier. Or Patriot League or like some other league that has football, please, because they play in their league games. They have to play against Jacksonville, which is in Florida, Stetson, which is in Florida, San Diego, which is in California.
This is the league that they're in, the PFL?
This is the league, the PFL, the Pioneer Football League. They play Davidson in North Carolina.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph Curry school. And they play Dayton in Ohio. And they play Ohio, Iowa, Morehead
So
State.
they're flying all the time. How are they going to do that with Corona? They're not going to.
That's my that's my question because I know they have a game against Cornell this year. So like that game will probably still go on.
Yeah.
But yeah, they play Georgetown every year, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Even though I think they drive to that one, not sure. But I just wonder how these games are gonna go.
Yeah, join the Patriot League. Come on down.
Yeah, for sure. Marist College, if you're listening, please join the Patriot League. So
our football team is 1AA.
Yeah. So is Marist.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're 1AA. Yeah. A lot of the small, like mid-major schools have 1AA football teams. I'm trying to think if there's anyone that doesn't.
Georgetown's 1AA, right?
Yeah, they are. And like they have like the thing is, it's funny because like these high major basketball programs, and then they have AA football teams. It kind of sucks because like Villanova football probably doesn't get the same amount of respect that Villanova basketball gets because Villanova basketball is like. In Gonzaga, I feel the same way about them. I don't even know if they have a football team.
Same. I don't know.
Gonzaga, Georgetown, that's another big one. But yeah.
Like UConn basketball doesn't even have a football team. They don't have. Oh, wait, yeah, they do. Oh my God.
UConn football.
I said that. I was just with a football player from UConn too. Sam's boyfriend.
Oh, right.
Plays for UConn. He was here.
I feel so bad for them because UConn is joining the Big East and the Big East no longer has football. So UConn is going to be an independent football team.
Oh, I heard about that.
So now they're in the same boat as like Army, Notre Dame, Navy, I think Idaho.
Wait, that's weird because Army and Navy are our league for Patriot League.
Right.
But they're not for football.
Right. Yeah. Same how Notre Dame is in the ACC for basketball.
Yeah.
But not for football. Like, I don't know. College football is
that's weird.
Such a strange thing.
Make it simple. But if Army and Navy were if Army and Navy was in the Patriot League for football, that would be unfair. But
they dominate.
Loyola and Navy are in the Patriot League for lacrosse, and Loyola women's lacrosse was top 5 this year. Like,
oh my gosh,
they're so good. Playing them is just like fun to watch. Like, I'm on the field, I'm like, whoa, like they're just so like, good. Yeah. But playing them is fun, but it's hard. Army and Navy are fun to play because going there is really fun.
Right. Like
seeing their campus. Like I remember driving into Navy, we had to like stop at all these stops, and their locker room was huge. It's definitely cool.
Yeah.
But that's so weird with football. Like what?
I don't know. It's weird. It's hard. It's whatever.
So, you need to figure it out.
Exactly. Just listen. Marist College. Listen to me.
Listen to
I have
Terrence.
so many good ideas.
He's very credible and he knows what he's talking about.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Liz.
You're welcome.
All right. So, last question.
I'm ready.
And you've kind of already alluded to it. We've kind of already alluded to it multiple times. But my final question is, what are you most looking forward to when you get back on the campus at Lafayette College in Easton, Pennsylvania?
I'm looking forward to reuniting with my whole team and doing like a whole team, thing. But I think that's what I'm most looking forward to, just being on campus again and hanging out with everybody because I'm sick of Zooming and like things glitching. Like, wait,
sick of it.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of like putting myself on mute and then someone talking and you can't hear them because your computer's glitching and your Wi-Fi's down. Like, I just want to be in person with someone. That's why, like, I didn't learn anything even on Zoom. Like, I don't take it in. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is I'm sick of Zoom. So that's what I'm looking forward to is being in person finally and just hanging out with my team and practicing lacrosse again in person and just not going back to normal, but somewhat.
Right.
If you don't, go away.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much it.
That's all.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
Honestly, let's see, closing words.
What do you have to say to your fans, first of all?
Fans?
Yes.
If you are in high school, look at Lafayette for school because it's awesome. Yeah. And Marist too, because Terrence, Yeah,
great place.
Regarding Black Lives Matter, if you think you're doing enough, then do more. Educate yourself. I need to do more. That's a personal statement too because I'm not doing enough. Yeah. I think I need to read some more stuff and listen to more podcasts.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and educate and discuss. But that's a continuous thing. That's not just right now. Right. And then regarding Corona, stay safe and healthy. If you're going to go out, be smart about it. Wash your hands. 20 seconds. They say, sing happy birthday twice.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Back, front, wrists. Like you're a surgeon.
Perfect.
Yeah. And in general, everyone have a great night. And I'm so glad that I got to be on this podcast with my great high school friend, Terrence Echols.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, Liz.
Of course.
All right. So I just wanted to thank everyone for listening. And this has been the Echols Unlimited podcast with special guest, Miss Elizabeth O'Brien.
Woo!